Welcome to the brand new Draymond Green Show YouTube channel. Hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our content. And you get drafted to an organization at the time that was a lot like the organization I got drafted to at the time. It was a laughingstock of the NBA, was through coaches every 2 years.
Every 1 year, bro.
Crazy. Like the turnover in the organization, no stability. Teams walk into your gym, it's a night off for them because
whoa, relax.
No, that was the Warriors too. What I'm saying is like these organizations.
We gonna put up a fight now.
No. I'm talking about the organization. You get drafted to the organization, and the way teams looked at these organizations was like, oh, we got a night off when we walk
Absolutely.
in. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the Warriors, that was the Kings, it's the Pistons now.
Right.
Like that's how the organization was looked at. You get drafted into that organization, and in spite of all of that, in spite of the coaching changes, the instability, because I always talk about, no one ever says, yo, it's the organization fault.
Right.
It's always the player fault. By the way, 19 years old, it can't really be my fault.
Right.
Like, 19, you're supposed to be helping me out, but it don't really happen that way. They blame the player. And in spite of all of that, you go there and you, from the time you get there, all rookie teams, all NBAs, all stars, didn't want to give you your due at first, but they had to. You forced them to. What was it like going to an organization like that and then having to navigate all of those things with the coaching changes, the front office, then there was an ownership change while you was there. All of those things happened, and what was it like for you having to navigate that as a young 19-year-old?
It was tough and it was confusing. And, it was even, worse for me because I was coming from a situation at Kentucky where, Cal treated us like pros. You know what I mean? He was preparing us for that next level. So I remember, I'll never forget this, but shout out to my vet, Francisco Garcia, I'm sorry. Cisco was, my vet. He might have, at the time, my rookie year, he might have been 5-6 years in. So that just kind of showed, like, that's not a real vet.
Not at all.
At the time, like, that was my vet. But I remember in my rookie season, it was something simple. I don't even remember what the task was, but I kind of, like, at Kentucky, it was like, I never did anything like that. Then I came to the Kings, and in my mind, it's like, this is a step higher even more, you know what I mean? So this is the elite level of basketball. So my expectations were, they were off, to say the least. So it was a simple task. And I remember Cisco saying something like, yo, you really was spoiled at Kentucky. Like, and in my head, I'm like, damn, maybe I was. Like, but at the same time, I'm like, this is an even more elite level. So why is it being, looked at as me being spoiled? So long story short, Cisco ended up eventually getting traded to the Houston Rockets.
Yep.
And I remember when he went there, he ended up tapping in with me, like, a little later, and he was like, man, I remember that day I called you spoiled. Like, he was like, I was wrong. Like, we were in a shithole. Like, and I'm like, I knew I wasn't tripping, bro. And it was, and I'm not here to, like, shit on the Kings or anything like that. That's just, in sports you have up and down years. And, I just so happened to come in at a point where it was down years. The organization was figuring itself out. It was in this transition period. The owners that drafted me, they were ready to move on and sell the team. So it's a lot of things I got caught up in that was just out of my control.
Absolutely.
But, the average fan or whatever don't quite understand that part of the business or the game. So, it's easy to look at my situation and, just kind of point the finger. And to be honest, a lot of it was my fault. Like, I did do a lot of bonehead shit, stupid shit. But, that's part of growing up and becoming a man. You bump your head a few times.
Absolutely.
But, it was hard. It was hard figuring it out. A new system every single year, like, that's tough to do. Each coach has a different system. Each coach thinks differently. Like, so, you know, just trying to find success with a new system every single year, that's really hard to do.
Absolutely.
And then on top of it, you know, people think players create a vibe, which they do, but an organization being good starts at the top.
Starts at the top.
Every single, that's with any type of organization. It starts at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So
For sure.
It just wasn't right. It wasn't, things weren't aligned correctly, and it wasn't, the Kings weren't ready to flourish yet. And you know, like I said, I ended up going through two ownership groups. I had 3 GMs, and I was there 6.5 years, had 6 coaches. So, like I said, it was tough to navigate. But, you know, at the end of the day, when it came to competing, that was my foundation. I had my own personal goals, which was to try to be the best, you know, player I could be, regardless of my situation, you know, find a way to shine.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that was just kind of my mindset with, you know, maneuvering through that.
Nah, I mean, like I said, I think, you know, even when I look back on it, it's dope to see because, and now being in the NBA and understanding, what it means to be a bad organization. Like, there's way more bad organizations than there are good organizations. And with that being said, and it, like I said, it goes back to my original point, which is, we've never once in a million years saw a list come out on Bleacher Report, on The Athletic, on ESPN, talking about these are the top 5 or bottom 5 worst organizations in the league.
Right.
These are the bottom 10 worst organizations in the league. And here's why these organizations are bad. Bah, 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 bah.
Right.
You can go down the list.
Right.
I've never seen an article that way.
No.
But the moment DeMarcus Cousins get ejected from a game or get a technical foul or him and teammate have words, because that does happen amongst teammates, then that's like this big issue, you know, and it's like, oh, that's who you become.
Have you been hungry for some college football? I am. I cannot wait. And if you love college football as much as I do, jump in on the DraftKings Sportsbook. Go to the app. Takes you 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes to download. It's a small slate of games, but it's week 0. We got the one over in Dublin. And go to the DraftKings app. If you're a first-timer, let's make it easy. Just pick a team to win. Select a team. Place your first bet. This is going to be a gigantic season because of conference realignment. There's so much mystery and so much fun and so many big games. Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Georgia. That's now a part of our life. If you've always loved college football, add a layer to it. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Put in the name Colin. By the way, when you download the app, put in the name Colin. That's $200 in bonus bets. If you put in the code Colin, you get $200 in bonus bets from DraftKings, betting just $5. That's a nice head start. It's like you won without winning. Pick a team. It's simple. Download it. Code Colin. $200 off 5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.